Hello makers! Welcome back to another installment of Virtual Maker Wednesday. I hope everybody is having a good transition into back to school. Obviously been an even, slightly more interesting year than most in terms of making the transition back from the summer, but I know that you're all doing great with it. I have the fullest confidence in everyone. And yeah, we missed you down at the library, hopefully, I'm looking forward to being able to continue to do some sort of in-person programming here as we move further into the fall. So we'll see what's up with that as we go. But for now, another Maker Wednesday video. So today we're making a really cool thing, I think. I'm calling it the secret box. It's a SpongeBob reference. If you got it, 2 thumbs up. But so for the secret box, this is kind of what your finished product will look like, pretty inconspicuous, just kind of looks like a normal box, it just might be standing somewhere or something. But when you take off the secret hat to the secret box, it reveals the secret compartments within, which are pretty awesome. They're these cool little box shelves here that I'm going to show you how to make in a second. And it's a good size to store maybe some jewelry, stamps, stickers, anything that's kind of small that could fit in there. And it wraps up pretty neatly here. Then you just have to cap it with your hat, and you're good to go, friend. Oh, capped it the wrong way. The angles matter, friends. So that's something we're going to be talking about today because we're going to be doing a lot of folding to make these projects. We'll be thinking about folding. We'll be thinking about paper. We'll be thinking about angles and geometry. So yeah, let's just get started. So to start off here, we're going to need our trusty marker or some sort of writing or marking device. Could be a pencil or a pen, a crayon even. We're going to need a glue stick. We're going to need some scissors. And we're going to need some paper. So to start off, we need to cut out 4 squares that are the size of a glue stick by a glue stick. So what I mean by that is we'll go ahead, we'll put a glue stick here at the corner of our paper. Very similar to what we do with the roller. If we have any math people out there, we're aiming for about 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters. But the glue stick is a pretty fun, easy marker. It's also cool to be able to sort of use some of our tools as measuring tools, even though they're not typically used as such. So I thought that was kind of neat. So we'll go ahead, we'll lay our paper out from the corner, we'll get our glue stick, and we'll mark how far it extends into the paper there. Like I said, about 10 centimeters. We'll put a little mark there. Then we're going to go up from that mark and do the same thing. Mark right there. And once we have those dimensions sorted out, we'll go ahead and cut out a square. Probably it's just about a square. It might, again, for any of my math sticklers out there, it's probably more accurately a rectangle because I can't say for sure that these sides are perfectly even, but they're going to be very close, and we want them to be very close, which is why we're using the glue stick. We have our 1 square. We're going to make 4 more just like that. An easy little technique here is to just sort of hold our square that we cut right over the paper, and you can trace it if you want. You can make more marks. Let's do that. Seems like that'll be easier than trying to hold this, right? So we'll do that. And we'll do the same thing. Boop. Cutting up. Cutting out. All right. And we'll do the same thing 2 more times here. So put it down, mark it up. And again, friends, I'm already seeing here that my lines, my cuts aren't as straight as I would like them to be. So make sure if you want to cut as perfect of a square as possible, Don't want any wacky angles. You can see this one already has. So maybe not that noticeable to the eye, but perhaps just noticeable to me from doing this for a second here. All right, so we'll cut the square. And like I said, the angles and the lengths and these sort of things that are making up our squares are important because we are going to be folding these into the little shelves that you saw within the secret box. So, in terms of consistency and having the best box possible in terms of functionality, you want to try to make sure your squares are as straight as possible. All right. Okay. cut one more the same size here. All right. Now, once we have our 4 squares, we are going to need to cut one more square that is bigger by about, I would say maybe 3 centimeters, 5 centimeters than the ones we already cut. So to measure that, we'll take the last kind of remaining corner here. And, I think another good way to do it if we're still using our glue stick would be to do it like a cap in on each side. So we will go up, move in a cap, mark that. See that? Okay, great. Then once we have that, we'll move up a cap. Cool. Okay, and we can measure out a cap again. And up a cap. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we can put this sort of right in the middle there if we want to help us visualize everything. Because what we basically want to do is cut the same size square, but a cap's length, above, and a cap's length to the side, another cap's length up, and a cap's length in. So this will make more sense to you once you see me cut it out here. We can compare the sizes. Nothing like using some fun measuring devices, huh, friends? We got a glue stick's length for this, a cap's length for that. Moving right along. And that's what making it home is all about, friends. We're using the resources that are around us. All right. See? Big square. And you can see what I mean now. See what I mean? Just about a cap's length longer out on each side. Cool. All right. So the next step we're going to do is our folding process. So I will do 2 of these here to show you. And okay, so we're going to start off by folding it in half. Okay, we're going to do that in both directions here. So we're going to make like a T, a perpendicular kind of cross out of these folds. So we got our first one there. See that? Cool. And then we're going to take this, fold it down this way to make that cross, or that T we were talking about, or the perpendicular intersection for all my geometry friends out there. Because we're making right angles, friends. That is correct. All right. Okay. We can see that. See how we have our creases there? From here, we're going to want to fold each corner in so that this turns into a diamond shape. So fold them each into the center. So there's one. There's 2. Another interesting thing about this, friends, is that these types of folds and what we're kind of doing today is the same way that people turn paper into envelopes and cardboard into boxes, which is pretty interesting. And you'll see more about what I mean here in a second. Because look, even right here, what does this shape kind of remind us of? A little envelope, right? So we'll fold this one in. All right. Cool. We got our little diamond, also still kind of a folded in square. So we'll see, we got our sides folded in like this, right? So now you want the sides that are folded in, you need to have facing away from you. And what we're going to do is fold in each of our sides. We're going to fold in towards the center here in such a way that they meet in the middle. So it's kind of like folding it into thirds here. And you'll notice while you're doing this that these sides are going to kind of want to pop out a little bit. And we're just going to tuck them a little bit back right behind the side here. So we'll have something like this. So again, before it looked like this, right? And you'll notice this is our side. So we have our folded side where, we can do that facing away from us here. And then we're going to take these sides in like this. So that on our side that was folded in, it looks like this. Other side looks like this. So one more time here, because this is one of the trickiest parts. This is where we started with our diamond. Put it back into square mode. Folds out away from us. Fold in thirds. Make sure our corners are tucked. So then we have that on one side. We have this on the other side. Cool. All right. Once we have that established, we'll go back to the square. And from here, we're going to look at our sort of folded in open side here again. We're going to pull up, and we want these two creases that we made, we want them to be running vertically, right? So we don't want to hold, for the next step, we don't want it to be like this. We want it to be like this. And we are going to fold up this triangle at the top. Just be like that. I'm going to fold out this one at the bottom, right? And then we'll see we still have these vertical folds kind of running along the lines here. And so what we're going to do next is we're actually going to fold these in. And when we do this, we're going to want to pop our little triangles up that we formed right here. So these will kind of come up a little bit, like such, right? Do the same thing over here. Okay. Now we're going to fold these sides in long ways like this. We'll do the same here. Sorry, friends. I'm trying to do the whole mirror thing. It's a little bit difficult, but we got it. All right. Do the same thing with this one. Very cool. All right. And so now from here, we'll have something that looks kind of like this. What we're going to do is we are going to take, we're going to pinch in towards the middle here. So we're going to, here, I'll try to do it up here. We're going to pinch in. Sorry, friends. I'm trying to find the best angle for this. It might be easiest if I just do it from here. Maybe pull this up. There we go. Cool. So we're going to pinch in. Remember, this is what we have. Okay. We're going to take our corners here and we're going to pinch in. And we're going to create, this is where we create our little shelves here. Create kind of like a little box shape here. Sort of pull up. All right. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. All right. This is not as tight of a box as some of the other ones I've made today, if we're being honest, friends, but a little bit difficult trying to show in the mirror here. So what you really want is to just make sure whenever you're tucking your flaps in here, you want to get these sides pinched in like so. And then once they are, you can sort of fold that box top over and work with that to be able to create the edges of your box. See how that's coming together there, friends? I'm going to fidget with mine down here a little bit. And once we get this box shape, if you're a very, very excellent folder, there's a good chance that you won't need to put any glue to keep your box tight. But if you're having a little bit of trouble like I am right now, there's nothing wrong with using a little bit of glue. We'll go ahead and do that. And you'll put the glue kind of right at the tip, you know, kind of get it right on here. So then that way when you tuck in, you'll have a nice little structure to do so. And once you glue, make sure you pinch it hard and tight to make these walls of your box shelf, right? Almost like a little boat. We'll do the same thing with the other side. And friends, this might take you a couple tries. I'll tell you for sure it took me a couple tries. Not really an origami artist myself, but it's very fun and it's worth kind of persisting to and trying to figure out. Because again, like always, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to work for you. All right. And we'll have a little shelf. Cool. I'll show you guys how to make one more really quickly. Do it rapid speed here. So again, we're gonna pick our fold, make our T. All right, T. T. All right. I do our make our diamond square, right? All right. All right, so once we have our T, then our corners are folded in. We put the folds away from us, then we fold into thirds. So kind of tuck down our corners, right? So we have our one side that looks like this, and on one side that looks like this. All right. We open it back up, right? We fold. Again, we want to remember that we want our folds to be vertical. So then from here, fold up and out on our little triangles, like such. Fold these vertical sides in. Like that. Right, like that. And once we get to here, it's box folding time. So we'll open up and we'll pinch in from the sides here on each end. So we get a nice box shape here. All right. Cool. And remember, we can tape these down by taping it or glue these down right from there to make sure our box shelves are nice and tight. And when we glue, we pinch it in, hold it for a couple seconds there while you're doing this, friends. So, got that going on. a nice little box shelf again. All right. So you guys you'll need to repeat this 5 times really. So you'll do your round of 4 of the same size box, and then you're also going to end up doing it with the big one. And the big one is the same exact process as the smaller ones, but the big one is what you're going to use to make the little hat for your secret box, the cap that helps hold it together. So from there, you need to kind of make the longer rectangle part. So we need to make this part, right? So you can see that you're basically, you're just going to need to cut out, so we'll get our piece of paper here. It's going to need to be the length of 4 boxes, right, approximately. And then it is going to need to be the height of these 4 boxes kind of stacked at an angle. So how we're going to do this. Oh, and another fun thing is that the box is, the height of the box is another glue stick, right? So it's another glue stick height. So what we can do is we can use our boxes to measure how wide we have to make it. So again, we'll take out our marker here. And from the bottom, we'll just mark out 4 of these. So we have 1, and it's okay to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room. We don't want too much, but a little bit extra is okay while we're marking up these spaces. So 2. See what I'm doing here, friends? Get 3, and we'll get 4. Cool. All right, get our glue stick here, and we use that to measure up. So we have our height. Bet you guys never thought we'd be using a glue stick for such an efficient roller, you know? All right. And once we have our dimensions all set, we'll go ahead and cut it. So we'll cut this. And we'll cut across like this. Cool. So now we'll have our sort of like our backbone for our box structure here. From here, we're going to need to fold in on all of these marks and make a crease. So very simple, literally just going to fold along that. So, sorry friends, my angles are not, a little bit difficult to show this in a mirrored way. So we'll just fold along there. Get a nice crease. Right, so there's 1, fold down here. Do the same thing, so we'll have four creases. We want 4 nice columns here in which we can stack our boxes. So, well, so I guess it's 4 columns, 3 creases, friends. Right, we can see that, right? Brilliant, cool. And from here, friends, our last steps are just to glue in our boxes as such. So you're gonna want to glue them in on the longer side, not the shorter like width side here. So we'll do that, and you want to just make sure that you glue them in a sort of like staircase type fashion, kind of going up, right? So we'll start with this one down here, and then you glue up each one after that. So we have this. Oh, and whenever you're doing this, friends, try to pick the flatter side of your box to be the one that you glue in there. So, and again, if you're excellent at folding, everything might be very even and very flat. So we got 1. And again, when we're gluing down, we want to kind of pinch in, kind of hold it there. for a good couple of seconds while we let this settle. And then as you're stacking up your staircase, once you have one, for the next one, you want it the bottom of the next one to line up with where the top of the one before it is, just like this. Cool. All right. Just for the sake of finishing it, I'll just go all the way really quickly here, friends. Finish this one too. See how fast I can do it now after making a couple today. So remember, we do our cross, do our fold in, making our diamond. All right. So I have our diamond. We do our thirds. Right. And we pull it out. We're going to go vertical. Once we have our vertical lines, we'll pinch in, pinch our triangles, pinch in our columns here. Right. And then we'll fold in our boxes by doing some pinching, little gluing maybe. All right. Glue this side. And again, friends, I encourage you to take some time because honestly, folding these little box shelves is the most difficult part of this project to get down. So do that. Cool. All right. So we got, you can see there, have our three kind of lined up, and we just need to make one more for the top here. Do it super quickly so everyone can see this from start to finish. And if you're fast forwarding through this part or you want to, you are more than welcome to. All right. Our diamond. Do our thirds. Open it back up. We'll get vertical. Open up. Boom, boom. Pinch out our little triangles. Bap, bap. Fold in our columns. All right. And we pinch our corners. Tuck in. All right. Okay. Glue this last box in here. Whoop. All right. Got the last of our boxes here, friends. Cool. And we'll just glue that right in on top here so that we then have our 4 compartments as such. And remember, we're wanting to glue in on the long side here. All right, cool. Once we have our shelf set up as such, we can just fold it in. And you'll notice all the boxes fold in, stack quite nicely. And you'll just have to put on the cap that you made with the big square. All right, this one doesn't fit as exactly as my orange one, so I'll use this example again because it's better. And that's it, friends. So we stack them, make our staircase, fold it in, have our little box, pop on our hat, and you have yourself a secret box. As always, friends, feel free to reach out with any questions. Super excited for everybody to try this project. And thank you so much. We'll see you next week.